Soul, Natalie Southgate here, creator of Chakra Dance and Temple of the Soul. This is just a little message for anyone that's struggling a little bit at the moment. I've just come off a Zoom and where we've been working with patterns of behavior, looking at patterns of behavior. And do you have some patterns of behavior that you just can't seem to break free from, no matter what you try? It can be anything from overeating to reacting in certain ways to how you parent your kids. And you might do things in certain ways and you're like, oh, I don't like the way I'm doing that. And yet I can't seem to stop it. Pure willpower doesn't seem to be enough. So you kind of get stuck in this sense of struggle. And I just really want to share with you, first of all, to just be kind to yourself. Sometimes we are so hard on ourselves and can beat ourselves up about these things. And I just want to share, in case you haven't kind of done a lot of psychology work before, that so much of our behavior is from patterns in our unconscious. It's from ancestral patterns, the way that we have been brought up, the way our ancestors were many, many years ago, our grandparents, our great grandparents that have been passed, through history, and they get passed down, and it becomes like an unconscious way of being. I'll give you an example. It might be something like not having enough money. It might be like, oh gosh, I never have enough money, and I have to work like 60 hours a week to make sure I have enough money, and that's what your parents told you. You only have to work really, really hard to make your money, to make ends meet, to support your family, because their parents told them the only way you're going to do well in life and to support your families, you work really, really, really hard. So you never stop to think about anything. You just keep working really, really, really hard, because that's what that's the only way you know. And then you look at like, oh, but then I don't have enough time to be with my family. I saw a Facebook post the other day. This is a real tangent, which made me cry. And it was a little boy saying to a man, to his dad, "Dad, how much money do you earn in an hour?" And the father was like, "That's a really rude question. You shouldn't be asking me things like this." And he went, "Okay." And he, went back to his room. And then the father felt a bit bad, and he thought, oh, maybe he's saving, he wants some money. Maybe he's, seeing if I've got enough money and I need to help him. So he went back and he said, "Look, I'm sorry, son. Are you saving for money?" He said, "Yes, I am saving up for something special." And he said, "All right, I'll give you." And he said, "What?" He said, "Look, I earn $100 an hour. So I'm going to give you $50. Okay." And the boy was like, "Okay, all right." And he said, "I'm not quite there yet. I'm going to keep saving. I'm going to keep saving." And anyway, this went on and on and on until eventually the boy came. We'd saved up $100. And he said to his dad, I wanted to buy an hour of your time." Oh, that's a whole different tangent. But I'm using the example of sometimes we get so stuck in ways of being, and it's the only way we know. And if you're stuck in one of those, you kind of need a circuit breaker. You need to come in and do something that's radically different to shift this. And this is where I highly recommend doing some kind of work where you start to work with what is going on in the unconscious. What are the unconscious patterns? And we hold a lot of those in our bodies as well as in our psyches. And this is what Chakra Dance is about. And I'm trying to kind of give you what happens when you come to the other side of Chakra Dance. It's like, yes, we go in and we dance to specific composed music that's resonating to the chakras, and it's Jungian psychology based. But ultimately what we're doing is using a process that takes us into a layer, safely takes us into a layer of the unconscious, so that these patterns start to rise. This is what happens in our sessions. People go, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even know this is where this was coming from. I didn't even realize that's what I was doing." And as soon as something comes to consciousness, as soon as something comes to light, it's like we're able to take a different path. We're able to react in a different way. We're able to change course. And if we don't ever go there, quite often we'll just spend our whole lives in this same pattern. So I just wanted to share this little tangent story thrown in the middle in case you needed to hear this, in case you're stuck in some patterns, and for you just to have a bit of a moment of, okay, what can I do here to change this? Because you can. I guess that's the main message, is we don't have to be slaves to the past. We don't have to be slaves to what our patterning is. We can easily change into the person who we actually are, our true soul essence. Anyway, little message for you today. Many blessings.